That's good. Yep, there's your mark. Okay, so what?
You were never called in by the police to identify the person who ran by your house. Is that not true?
No, I was not. I was kind of surprised by that.
You actually went to them and told them your description. Is that not true?
Yes, that is correct.
And you believe you talked to Sergeant Fishborn, correct?
Yes, I did talk to Sergeant Fishborn.
But Sergeant Fishborn, he never took a formal statement from you, did he?
I went to him, I told him my description of the character, and they said they knew exactly who he was talking about.
And Sergeant Fishborn never showed you a lineup of this specific person?
Like I said, they already knew who I was talking about.
Nor did they ever show you any pictures, did they?
No.
Actually, you were never contacted by them until this case was brought into court today, were you?
Yes.
Do you mind if I walk through the events of March 11th?
So I'm going to pause. So I like that build-up, but I think it's a little lengthy. I think it's a little, like, I think it's too many questions because, and I also think it needs a little bit more punch to get the point across. I think it's too casual, the way that you're presenting it. So more like, now, Mr. Sanders, or no, Mr. Logan, the police never contacted you after March 11th, 2012, did they?
No, it's very surprising.
In fact, you've never been contacted by the police for any reason about this case whatsoever, have you?
No, it was not.
They've never called you in for a lineup? They never took a formal statement? In fact, not until you came to court today did anyone talk to you about it at all, did they?
I had a few brief moments with my attorney, but no.
So kind of just a little bit like, you never did it, blah, blah, like just a little bit more drama, because you're kind of a little too deadpan about it, a little too much. But try it one more time with a little bit more kick, a little more drama. Shh, guys.
You were never called in by the police regarding the events of March 11th, were you?
No, I was not.
Then you were never contacted until this case was...
Yes, keep going. No, I'll stop you from there.
You were never contacted until this case was brought to court today, were you?
No, it was not.
So you were never called in for a lineup?
No, it was not.
Nor were you ever called in to be shown any pictures?
So, and one thing I'm noticing is your eye contact wavers a ton, like you look down a lot. Try to do it more time and try to maintain eye contact with me. Try to be more focused and try to now, Mr. Logan, like a little bit of a, exactly. Now, Mr. Logan. No police have ever contacted you about this case, have they?
No.
No one's ever called you for a lineup?
No.
No one ever took a formal statement from you, did they? In fact, today is the first day that you've actually been asked any questions about these events, isn't it?
Yes, that was correct.
So there's a little a little of that. So, and I know I do it my way. You're going to do it your way, but try to just try a little bit more of that.
Okay. Now, Mr. Logan, you were never called in regarding the events of March 11th by police, were you?
Or do her.
No, I was not.
And you were never called in for a lineup, were you?
I was not.
Nor were you ever called in for any written statement or statement taken by you.
That is correct.
Actually, today is the first day you've been questioned at all regarding the events of March 11th. Isn't that true?
That is true.
Good. That is much better.
Now, I'm going to run through your day on March 11th. That's okay?
Perfect.
Okay. So at 3 p.m. you claimed you sat down on your porch. Is that true?
That is correct.
At this time, you observed two teenagers across the street, correct?
It's downtown Clearwater, so it's nothing out of the ordinary.
So you weren't.
So that's a yes?
So that's a yes.
Yes.
And you weren't paying attention to that word.
No, not really. I had my own things going on.
Now you stopped.
Eye contact. Look at it.
Now you stopped observing these teenagers, and you began writing the grocery list, correct?
Yes.
And this grocery list, a few minutes later, was interrupted by gunshots. Is that true?
Yes, it was very shocking.
And after you heard these gunshots, you went inside, got your phone, came back out, and called the police, correct?
That is correct.
But while you were doing this, you weren't looking at the teenagers across the street, were you?
Well, I did not stumble over myself.
Okay. Now, at this time, after you were done calling the police, you said you observed someone stalling in the street. Isn't that true?
That is correct.
But this person never fell on the ground, did they?
Not from when I was observing.
Actually, you never saw anyone on the ground at that point, did you?
Again, like I said, not when I was observing.
And you also claim you saw someone running away from the scene.
Can I stop you? Okay, so the time frame piece. You're trying to make the time frame back there. You were trying to make the
Yeah,
time
you told
frame.
me to shorten it a lot.
Yep, but I didn't think you made it enough. I think you need one more question.
Okay.
I think so. If we go back to that, and I let you go pretty far because I want to make sure that was where you were trying to get it. So ask your questions just about the time frame thing, and then I'm going to stop you so that I can give you a little feedback on that.
You stopped observing these teenagers when you began writing a lengthy grocery list, correct?
No, ask him when he walked out on the porch. What he said.
So when you walked out onto your porch, you saw two teenagers across the street. Is that true?
Nothing out of the ordinary. It's downtown Clearwater.
And clarify. Now you didn't see 3 teenagers. To be careful, clear. You said you only saw 2 teenagers, right?
Yes, that.
Because that's important, right? And so by asking it a second time, you remind the judge that Chris and Rashawn and Leslie should have been there.
Yeah.
So this person doesn't see anything, right? And if you can get it out on Leslie's cross, if Brooke can get Leslie to say that the 3rd kid was with them that day, then you can say, so you saw just not 3 kids, not 4 kids. You saw only 2 kids. Isn't that right, Mr. Logan?
That is correct.
And then you've made your point that everybody remember that? Hey everybody, you remember that there were supposed to be more kids there? Right? So go back and try that again.
Now, when you went out onto your porch, you said you observed 2 teenagers standing across the street, correct?
Yes, it's nothing out of the ordinary.
And just to clarify, there were not 3 teenagers. There were only 2, not 3,
According to you.
according to you.
Yes.
Okay. Now, at this time, you have stopped observing these teenagers and began writing a grocery list.
Okay, instead of saying, according to you, you stopped observing these teenagers, I have now stopped observing Adam. No. Okay. Now, I know, and we're going to work on that, Adam. So instead, you could say, now, you sat down at your table at your porch or something like that. Take us through what he did. Not that he stopped observing them, but that after you walked out into the porch, you saw what you say was, like you say you saw 2 kids, and then you sat down at the table on your porch. Isn't that correct?
Very comfortable table.
And so that's a yes?
Yes.
And you started writing a grocery list, correct?
Yes, our fridge was nearly empty.
And you stated that this grocery list was pretty lengthy, correct? In fact, you stated that it took you several minutes.
It's all relative, yes.
It took you several minutes to write that grocery list? And not only that, but then you started daydreaming and thinking about your vacation, correct?
Yes, it was upcoming, and I was very excited.
So it would be fair to say, wouldn't it, Mr. Logan, that in the time between when you say you saw these 2 teenagers and then you heard gunshots, correct? Scratch that. And then you heard gunshots, correct? It was the gunshots that interrupted you from thinking about your grocery list and your vacation, correct? Now, it would be fair to say, would it not then, that several minutes, according to your own written statement, several minutes had passed between the time when you walked out on the porch and you say you saw 2 kids and when you first heard the gunshots, correct?
Couldn't have been more than 2 or 3 minutes.
Thank you.
Is that right? Very good.
Right. So it doesn't matter. 2 or 3 minutes is plenty for us, right?
Yeah.
So you're just like by asking. So just to be fair, it was at least 2 or 3 minutes, according to your own statement, because he says, right, a couple of minutes.
Yes.
So make him say that. So go back and start that again.
All right, from the porch.
Yeah. So when he stepped out on the porch, and then take a step forward so you're in there. There we go.
So, at 3 p.m., you went outside on your porch and you observed 2 teenagers across the street, correct?
That is correct.
There were not 3 teenagers, there were only 2, right?
To be clear,
Two.
yep.
Now, after this, you stopped looking at them and you sat down on your porch, correct?
Yes. Very good.
And at this time, you began to write a grocery list. That's true.
There are pretty few.
A fairly long grocery list, and it took you some time to write, right?
Relatively.
And after you were done with this grocery list, you started daydreaming, am I not correct?
I was daydreaming while I was writing. I kind of have to.
And actually, all of this was
So your answer is make him say, if you have a witness like this that wants to be like, oh yeah, blah, blah. So your answer is yes, right? You're kind of, it's a discipline tactic. You're disciplining them. Tell me what I want to hear. So that's a yes. I'm not interested. So that's a yes. Great. So that's a yes. Like you kind of want to, like just discipline a
That's
witness.
a maybe. Depends on the
Go back.
So all this was interrupted by gunshots, wasn't it?
Yes, it was very frightening.
So it's fair to say between the time that you saw the two teenagers across the street and the time that you were interrupted by gunshots, it was a few minutes.
According to your own statement, it was at least several minutes. Remind him that according to your own statement, what you said, right? So just like those little catchphrases in there are really helpful, and they will force a witness to say what you want them to say. So just like, be explicit about that.
So it'd be fair to say that between the time that you saw the two teenagers across the street and the time that you heard gunshots, that it only took a few minutes, according to your own statement. Is that true?
Define a few.
It took at least several minutes. Remember, you are saying that it was more, okay?
At least several minutes.
Define at least seven.
2 or 3.
According to your own, if he gets cheeky like that, say, did you make a statement for this court before? Like discipline, right? Get him to say it.
Well, my definition of several may be different than your definition of several.
Just like your
5.
definition of several gunshots was different than the victim themselves, correct? Because according to you, you say that you heard at least 8 gunshots, when in fact, there were only 4 gunshots. So your ability to, didn't he say?
He said
you heard
4
4 or 5.
Yeah.
Sit down!
Okay, keep going. Whatever, I'm mostly right, mostly.
So after you heard these gunshots, okay. After you heard these gunshots, you got up, you went inside your house, grabbed your phone, came back out, and called the police. Is that true?
That is correct.
And at this time, you weren't observing any teenagers?
No, I was. Can't use the word observing.
Well, it
I
just
was
sounds
paying
dumb.
attention.
That's not how you would talk if you were saying, you'd say, but you, so from the time you got up off your porch, you got out of the porch and went to get the phone, you didn't see anyone in the street. You didn't look to the street at all, did you?
I was focusing on traversing my.
So that's a yes. You didn't see anyone, did you?
No, that's not my case.
So you actually never saw anyone shoot anyone that day, did you, Mr. Logan?
No, I did not.
You got to ask him that.
I
You
was
did
kidding
not
that.
see anyone shoot anyone, did you? You heard a gunshot, you saw what you say was 2 kids, and you saw a kid run past your house. That's it. That's the sum total of what you saw. You never saw a gun, you never saw a kid with a gun, you never saw a person shoot a gun, you never even saw Rashawn Anderson, correct? What?
On the ground.
Does he even say he
says he never
saw a
the
kid on
victim.
the ground?
Never saw the victim.
Never saw the victim laying on the ground. I mean, that's shocking, right?
Yeah.
This guy didn't even see the one person we know for sure was at the scene. Right, okay.
Yeah, believe it or not, I was actually straight down and it's the same exact incident.
Well, now that I think about it, I was... Okay, keep going.
I'd love you to say that.
See, it's now, I suffer from amnesia.
Oh,
and
here we
now
go.
this whole thing, it's coming to me again, and I did see a black gun in his hand. And he came up to me, almost shot me. And I punched him in the face. But anyway.
Yeah.
And this is
Other
where...
questions, Your Honor?
Yeah, exactly. But that's college mock trials, more like that. Where people can make stuff up, yeah.
I think that'd be a stretch. But
I think it would be great, because then you'd have to, like, in the moment, you'd have to go for it. You'd have
See,
to
I
figure
had
out how to do
Tourette's,
it.
and I accidentally grabbed a gun and I accidentally shot him.
Oh,
So
well,
that's-
that's not good. That's not good. Okay, keep going,
I
keep
don't
going.
think Torrance does that.
All right, let's keep going. And this is Andrew's contribution, the ADD version of mock trial practice.
So you never actually saw anyone shoot anyone that day, did you?
I did
you only saw someone stumbling in the street and someone running away. Is that true?
Really see an 8-year-old could infer that after hearing gunshots.
I didn't ask you what 8-year-old.
Hey!
Stay, come on, Andrew, stay on.
8-year-olds.
Ask him again, and Andrew, play within the sort of scope of reality. Okay, go again.
So
Let him,
actually, you only saw one person running away and another person stumbling on the street.
That is correct.
And you actually never saw the victim lying on the ground. Isn't that also true?
That is correct.
Now, regarding this person running away, you never saw them holding a gun, did you?
Their hand was in their pocket. I did not see a gun, no. But
What you're telling us today, that his head was in his pocket?
yes, that
Did
is
you fail to include that in your affidavit? Isn't that true?
well. He could have, his hands could have just been cold just as easily as well.
and follow up with what's most important about what he just said.
His hands were cold?
No. No.
Some were
Come on. What was most important about what he just said? The hand was in the pocket. Okay, fine, that you're just including that. But what was most important about what you just asked him?
It's not his affidavit.
That he didn't see the person's, he didn't know who that was. He didn't see a gun. He doesn't know what he's talking about, right? Don't lose sight of, if they give you some wacky little tidbit like that, don't lose sight of what was most important about what you were just asking. I see lawyers do this all the time. They lose themselves in this wacky moment. Yeah.
What up?
Go back.
So you're telling me that you didn't see anyone with a gun that day? Isn't that true?
That is correct.
So you never saw someone with a gun.
I was just about to ask that.
Do it.
So you never saw anyone with a gun,
No.
and you never saw the victim lying on the ground, did you?
No.
Actually, the time period between when you saw people across the street and the shooting was fairly long also. Isn't that true?
A couple minutes.
Okay.
You never
No.
saw the shots fired.
You missed it. So you never saw. So just to be clear, Mr. Logan, you never saw a gun.
No, I didn't.
You never saw a person holding a gun.
No.
You never saw the face of or the victim themselves laying on the ground, did you?
No, I didn't.
You didn't see a third person standing in the street, did you?
No, I didn't.
You did not see anyone shoot a gun, did you?
No.
So to be clear, all you saw was 2 kids in the street and a kid running past your house.
Yes.
Thank you. Like, just make sure you hit all those points. Good. Okay.
I have to ask him about swift justice too. You know I hate doing it because it's a script.
Ask him.
Now, these shootings, they worry you, don't they?
Of course, they happen.
You should. Don't worry, don't.
Oh, I liked it. I liked the way he said it, actually. Yeah, I did. I thought it. Just listen to her. She's in charge most of the time when I'm not here. I'm just giving her that. Because I feel like she's the one that'll make you guys work. Okay.
Now, these shootings, they worry you, don't they?
Well, of course. It happened 15 feet from my house.
Actually, they worry you so much that you want this person you identified to be found fairly quickly.
Okay. This is how I would ask it. Not that. I would say, and you want. Is he just sniffing my ears?
Yeah.
Okay, Justin, you're not helping right
I
now.
seriously don't understand what's so interesting about that.
Okay, you're huffing markers.
I'm
Sit
just
down.
sniffing them.
Sit down. Yep. Okay.
I just want to see.
I'm in the middle of a moment, and I want you to be helpful,
Just
not
having a
hurtful.
moment.
I'm having a moment. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's zip it, and we can get through it.
Any
Okay.
personal
Mr. Sanders, Mr. Logan, this shooting was terrifying, wasn't it?
Well, of course, I have 2 young ones.
And it was a frightening thing, not just for you, but for all people in Clearwater, wasn't it?
Well, any sane person, I'd hope.
And you want someone brought to swift justice for these shootings, don't you?
I want someone brought to fair justice.
Thank you. And then I would just sit down. And it's important to you that the police, and it's important to you that the police catch someone for this crime quickly and put them in jail to protect the community, isn't it?
Only if it was a fair trial.
Only
Yeah.
if it feels the wrong person.
Yeah. Okay, now hug it out.
I'm not hugging him. No, don't.
I wanted to get it on video. Do it, Andrew. Hug him.
No.
Get it on video. That was good stuff. Okay.
Wow.
Oh, so cute.
Don't leave me out. I want it.
Oh, you can totally have a hug, bro.
Are you?
Oh. there's a lot of hugging going on. Okay, we'll be done. We'll be done.
Productive and make the t-shirts on my
Don't rub my back.
Okay, that's going on the season reel. All right.